believe it or not, we're actually almost to the end. We have only a few more stages to go, including Starlight Zone, which is actually kind of a cool zone, but I also dislike it. I don't dislike it even because of this game, I kind of dislike it because of Mania. This is one of the stages that got brought back, and I honestly, that's like my least favorite stage in Mania. Starlight itself isn't inherently bad, it's just I don't like the Mania variant, and even just like, the level design itself, like Sonic CD, and again that goes back to what I was saying about Special Stage 5, I almost feel like because this is a Sega CD game and not a Genesis game, they wanted to kind of like flex, basically. So they just put in a lot of graphical detail, a lot of really, like, what is happening? I think I actually need to jump here. Nope. Yeah, I'm just kind of stuck in a loop. Again, some of this level design is interesting, to be polite. What was I saying? A lot of Sonic CD is flashy for the sake of showing off, like the Sega CD. I passed through that no problem that time. No clue why. Case in point, some of the foreground and background details in this game tend to be fairly cryptic as to like what is interactive and what isn't, which is a problem. Like, if you can actually tell where you're supposed to go, it's not that bad, but it can be very overwhelming. Like I feel like a lot of elements of CD, specifically the special stages and a couple of stages like Starlight, not Starlight, Stardust Speedway. I'm like, what is the name of this level? It's just kind of overwhelming. Like, there's too much happening on screen to be like visually enjoyable in terms of the backgrounds and everything. It's like, I feel like Starlight Zone is a good example of a stage that's like aesthetically good, but also not like overwhelming. Again, this is just kind of overwhelming because you're going fast through a stage with this much detail, and it's just it's a little much. And I don't know if that's like a problem in not many other Sonic games. I feel like Mania actually has that problem from time to time of just not being able to parse what is foreground and background. But like a lot of classic Sonic games actually don't struggle with that too much. We have a new mechanic here. As I was saying, we have a new mechanic here where we basically have these tunnels and we have to actually influence our direction through the tunnels past Stardust Speedway, which I actually, again, recognize more from Mania than this game. Again, I didn't really explore much when I played Sonic CD on Gems Collection. I kind of just brute forced my way through the game somehow, and I struggled a lot to the point where I disliked the game for the longest time, but I've actually warmed up to it recently because of the collection. But even then, there are occasional moments where it's like, man, this stage is kind of a mess, and I don't know how to feel about it. So we have to pick the right, like, tunnel to go through. Again, these stages are very pretty. In this stage, it's actually not as big of a deal because it's a lot more linear. So you don't have to worry about, like, yeah, details being distracting and things like that. And we can just kind of admire the scenery. This is also one of the most iconic bosses in the series, as it's been brought back on numerous occasions. We have a race with Metal Sonic. This is not a traditional boss fight. We cannot deal damage. He can damage us, though. Robotnik is trailing us with a giant death laser that will instantly kill us. There is a save point at the end. And basically, we have to be the one to get to that save point. Otherwise, we are getting fried by the laser. The drop dash kind of trivializes this, but there's enough like weird hills and hits and spikes everywhere to make it so that even with like the drop dash, you might still have kind of a rough time. And yeah, and he'll charge into you like that. I haven't actually lost in a while, so let's try to keep it that way. We're actually almost to the end, I think. Amy is safe, but our work here is not done. Metallic Madness. I can't remember, was it Wacky Workbench or Metallic Madness where I literally got my first time over in a Sonic game ever? Yeah, I want to say it was one of those two where I got like extraordinarily lost to the point where I actually did legitimately spend 10 minutes on these stages. I do feel like compared to Sonic 1 and 2, Sonic CD is like the first game where you could legitimately have a chance of getting a time over pretty easily. Again, the other game I can think of where you might have that problem is Mania, because those stages are also pretty long. Apparently the time over is actually slightly glitched at this point. Again, this is the launch version of the game, or the day one version of the game more specifically. So I've actually seen some problems where the timer will actually get to 10 minutes and stop. Where it's like, I kind of feel like if it was intended to go past 10 minutes, it would actually keep counting, so that's why I'm kind of leaning towards a glitch, but I actually don't think that's a bad thing, especially in an exploration-heavy Sonic game. Having a time over system feels very counterintuitive, and might be part of the reason why people don't like CD. Again, CD is very, like, divisive. A lot of people love it, and a lot of people really don't, and again, I'm finding I'm kind of in the middle after this playthrough. I'm also trying to remember something, actually. I think it was either this or 3 that was the first Sonic game I ever finished. And that's only because Sonic 1 and 2 didn't have saves. And Sonic 3 and Knuckles was unlocked by playing Sonic 3 and Sonic and Knuckles individually in that collection, like 20 times each. Like literally starting up the game like 20 times. And I mostly played Sonic 3. We'll talk about that much later when we get to Sonic 3, because I do want to get through all the games on this collection at some point. But I definitely think this was one of the two, like, first 2D Sonic games I actually got through. And again, being able to save helped a lot, even though I got extraordinarily turned around. Even when I was actually playing Origins to get ready for this playthrough, I got turned around on this stage. I wasted like a solid several minutes trying to, or maybe like 2 minutes, going in a loop, because I was not able to parse where I was supposed to go. You also have these little tubes. I don't know what the best direction to go is, so we'll just go right. Yeah, there's one particular part of Metallic Madness 2 where I just got ridiculously turned around and had no clue where to go for the longest time, and then I thought maybe I should go away from where the game is indicating, and that was actually the solution. And we also have these little lasers, also one-way doors. I did not react to that fast enough. I also thought I fell immediately into the pit, so that would have been really, actually ironic. That happens a lot to me in Sonic games, though, where I lose a life, go back to a checkpoint, and then immediately lose another life. Oh, I don't even need to go this way. This is just for the pass sign, which is good if you want the good future through robot generators, but again, they're not here now, so we don't even have to worry about that. Again, I almost feel like at some point I need to do a playthrough like on my own time of going after the robot generators, like look up a guide, try to go for them all. Because I kind of feel like this game has problems of, it's almost like an identity crisis of what game this is trying to be, because the robot generators as a concept are actually a good way to encourage you to actually go out of your way to see everything this level has to offer, go to the past version, go to the future version to see what's changed, and so on. So in that way, I actually think the level design is really good, but then if you go for the time stones and you don't have to worry about any of that, then these are pretty just like open-ended Sonic stages. Like, they are more open than like most other Sonic games. But in terms of like mechanical depth, they're pretty much on par. But we have tiny Sonic, so that makes it all worthwhile. Red lasers shrink you, blue lasers revert you to your standard size. I can't believe this. I'm stuck at this part again, trying to figure out what to do there. I remember getting stuck there for quite a while because I was like, do I have to hold left? Do I have to hold right? Holding right is the key on the one spring going up. We're actually getting close to the part that I was talking about earlier about getting a little bit turned around. Like, this door opens, this is a one-way door, so my brain was like, hey, go right, because this is a one-way door, and it's actually incorrect, we have to go left. So yeah, I did that entire loop like 3 times, and then I was like, okay, something is wrong here, so I ended up going left and found this, which is the actual way to go. So yeah, not exactly the clearest level design at times. And again, it doesn't shock me in hindsight that I got really turned around when I was younger and first playing this game, knowing that even now I'm getting extremely turned around by some of this level design. We also have these little falling platforms. I want to say they fall faster in Mania, but again, it's actually been a bit since I played through Mania. I feel like if you're playing as Tails, which is an option in this version, you can kind of trivialize this. By the way, because this was the first Retro Engine version that was done, you actually can't play Knuckles. Knuckles was introduced in the Retro Engine version starting with Sonic 1, if I'm not mistaken, not CD. Guess what? We're actually on the final level. It kind of loses impact when you have the good feature version, and it looks very, like, very nice, actually. I actually don't need coins. It's not like we don't have 130 already, but might as well pick that up. Again, that's actually good to know if you're playing on original mode, or on the 2011 version, where you don't have infinite lives. So we have more of these little falling platforms we have to jump up. I assume if you actually fall, like, another one will spawn in to help you up, just in case. Dodging this, and we have all these little rotating platforms. This is actually way better than the Sonic 1 incarnation of these, because you can actually jump through them upwards, which makes them a lot more manageable. That's what I didn't like about them in Sonic 1, is not being able to jump up through them if you fall down. So yeah, that change makes that a lot easier to manage. We have an enemy fight here with an enemy with a bizarre hitbox. I don't know how to defeat these enemies consistently. Like, I took a hit because I was trying to jump up and deal damage, which is not great. We're coming up on the final boss, actually. Yeah, like, why didn't that count? So yeah, I still don't understand this even after all these years. You also have to wait till they're low enough, like so, and then we're good to go. Alright, so we're fighting Dr. Robotnik once more. This is another fight I actually don't understand. I usually just tank damage and just get a free hit with invincibility frames like that, and then try to pick up my rings. And now we have a clear shot at the boss, because basically you're trying to avoid the little, like, square parts. I just don't know how to get past the first square part, so I usually just take a hit on purpose, just to speed things up. I took another hit. Unfortunately, I would have liked to hang on to both rings to give me twice as many chances to pick up rings if I lose them. Now they're falling, and then Eggman or Robotnik should start lowering his mech. Alright, good to go, and one more panel left. So now they'll attack from the side, and if I'm not mistaken, he should start pogoing with the remaining panel, which actually should not be that difficult because all the other ones are gone, giving us a clear shot. And with that, we've reached the end of Sonic CD. Overall, I like this game better now than when I first played it like 15 years ago. It's still not one of my favorite Sonic games. I think it's my third favorite of the classics. I like it better than Sonic 1 for sure, but I definitely still struggle a lot with the level design being so like vertical and open-ended, specifically towards the latter half of the game. By the way, I also had to lower the volume on this by 5 decibels because for some reason, again, the opening and ending cutscenes are ridiculously loud compared to everything else in this game. Again, if there's ever a patch for this collection, again, this is the Day 1 patch version of the game. If they ever patch the game, I hope they do fix some of the audio issues, like lower the cutscene volume and also re-add the voice clips for Amy and Sonic that were removed, because I'm pretty sure those were even in the 2011 version. Yeah, in general, I do like this game quite a bit more than I used to. I definitely think going after the time stones helped because that kind of forced me to take my time collecting rings, and that kind of almost feels like the problem I have with Sonic CD, where it works best when played in like with an exploration mindset versus a go fast mindset, which feels sort of like counterintuitive to Sonic, but it's still not bad by any means. It's still a very enjoyable game. It's just kind of like, not my preference, but again, a lot of people really love this game and consider it one of the best of the classics. But again, I'm not one of those people, but I have definitely warmed up to it. This was fun revisiting it. I hope you enjoyed this playthrough. Also, the songs, the Japanese songs, didn't actually have lyrics in the 2011 version, so that's another improvement over the original Steam and PC versions. For copyright reasons, they had to actually just have instrumental versions. But with that being said, I think we're actually getting close to the end of the credits, so thank you for watching, and I hope you'll join me next time for something different.